Hey team, Rico here. I am the founder of Neurofit, and Neurofit's really just a business that's there to help working professionals clear the mental chaos and equip them to become mentally fit. And so we do consulting and coaching. So basically, we work with other businesses, so business to business sales kind of thing. And then we also do to direct clients. So we run a coaching program. Really incorporating counseling skills, psychological skills, cognitive neuroscience, incorporating it all into one and running a program to clear the mental chaos and equip someone to become mentally fit. And in this quick session, I'm just going to kind of talk about what I would see as some of the biggest problems, or a few big problems, but also, in the business world, problems are big opportunities in the mental health space right now. And I think if you were to grab hold of it, it could be, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Basically, right now, the first thing is in the mental health space, a lot of, not just the mental health space, but the health space in general, 99% of services are focused towards the bottom of the cliff. People that are already at the bottom of the cliff and they're sending an ambulance down to pick them up. And there's not many services in the space of health and mental health that is focusing on people that haven't jumped yet. That they're not focusing on equipping people to not get close to the edge of the cliff in the first place. And that will probably be the first biggest problem, but also massive opportunity in the mental health space right now. Is if you were to walk into the space and figure out what you could do, how you could help, the biggest area or the biggest need right now is how can we equip people to not go close to that cliff in the first place? Because if we can have both an ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, really working with those people, and then also people, services that's preventing the bottom of the cliff, then we can actually begin to solve the bigger problem and actually save lives and actually prevent suicide and all those kinds of things. And so that's a big issue right now in the mental health space. Is there's not many services that I can find and that I spoke to the medical doctor of the Crusaders a couple of weeks ago about this very issue, and he was saying the exact same thing, that all services in the health system, because there's so many people at the bottom of the cliff, are saturated with, at the bottom of the cliff. And so that's probably the biggest thing right now, I would say, if you want to get into the space. Look at how you can equip and educate people before they fall. I mean, I think that'll be epic. The second one is in this space, collaboration is really needed. And it is a massive problem, but also if you do it, you can do it really well, and it can actually solve the problem of helping people. What I found that in the space is that we like to fix everything with one hammer, but not everything is a nail to be fixed or nail to be hammered, really. So, for example, I can't go to the gym and hoping the gym or squatting in the gym is going to fix my self-hatred or my guilt or my shame. The same thing if I go to a psychologist hoping to squat more, it's not going to work. Or I can't go to a counselor asking for food advice, because that's not the profession. And really, in this space, in the mental health space, a lot of services are trying to solve it all. Counselors trying to do it all. A psychologist is trying to do it all. A gym is trying to do it all. What we need is really a person that, services that specialize in an area, but then collaborate with multiple areas. Us as human beings, we are a holistic being. We are not just a body. We have a soul, we have a spirit, and we need to begin to partner with services around us that can focus on really equipping all areas of who we are. And I think in the mental health space right now, that's a big gap. A lot of it is focused on external. How can we change the external environment? And that's going to solve everything. And then you have the other end of the spectrum. How can we solve the internal stuff? And that will solve everything. But it really needs to work together. And I think that's a big opportunity, but a massive issue that we're seeing right now in the mental health space is that there's no collaboration that's going. Everyone believes that they can solve everything, and it's just, it's not going to work. But there's two big problems. On the business side, if you wanted to get into the space, I'm going to give you just some business advice that will really help. The biggest thing is know who you want to help. Often we can get in the space and think, I'm gonna solve everyone's problem. I'm gonna help them all. But we need to know who exactly we're gonna help. And why this is important is because when we try and help the masses, we end up helping no one. But when we try and help an individual, we end up helping masses. For example, if you were to go to the mall today and you were to yell out, hey everyone, I guarantee you no one's probably going to stop and ask you what's going on. But if you went to the mall and said, hey Ben, a Ben would probably stop and say, hey, how's it going? And then you're able to help that person. Well, in the mental health space, I think that's the best thing. You got to understand who you want to help and how you want to help them. So for example, it's knowing your niche. Do you want to help tradesmen? And often we can call like, but I want to help more people than just tradesmen. But you got to start there. Do you want to help tradesmen? Do you want to help lawyers? Do you want to help middle-class professionals that's struggling with depression? You really have to niche it down so that you can identify a person with the problem, and then that person can identify that it's them. That's probably the best, the easiest, quickest, but most important advice is often we can try and help everyone, and then we reach too broad and we catch no one. But if we can go in with a niche, all of a sudden you're going to begin to help people. And I think that's probably, once you figure out who you want to help, it's then finding where are they hanging out. If I'm going to help, if I'm trying to, help in the mental health space, if I'm trying to help, lawyers. Okay, so where do lawyers often hang out? Are they in the CBD in cafes? Are they in certain Facebook groups? Are they more on LinkedIn? Okay, so if they're hanging out in those spaces, one, I need to begin to connect with them. The more of your people you want to help that you can connect with, the easier it becomes to find out what the problem they actually have. Because we can often say, they've got this problem, but they can't relate to the problem you see because you didn't actually talk to them. So if we can begin to talk to who we want to help and find out what the issues actually are, it then becomes easier for me to build a product or a service that's going to actually help that person or those genre of people with that specific problem. And when you do that, it's a lot easier to actually grow your business. But that's pretty much it. In the mental health space, people are people and people need help. Just knowing that right now, the season that we're in is we need people, services that's going to equip and educate rather than just the bottom of the cliff. We have got services down there and they are saturated. And right now we have no barriers preventing people from jumping that cliff. So that part, and then collaboration, and then knowing who you want to help. Know who you want to help and begin to connect and talk and genuinely care for that person. Hey, that's me. Thanks so much for listening. If you want to find out more about Neurofit, just type in neurofit.co.nz. It looks like that. Neurofit.co.nz, big brain, and we're all about brain health. So if you want to get in touch, let me know, and we can chat. Thank you so much, guys. See ya.